Welcome back, everybody. Tom Olson here, and we are on day 3 for tips for a long, loving, lasting marriage. And Becky Olson, I just want to tell you, I love you.
And I love you too.
Oh, that's awesome. Isn't that cute? Oh, and we are here. If you guys haven't been able to see, if you guys look a little bit behind us, we are in Los Cabos right now. So
it's beautiful.
We're actually doing work / a little bit of fun, right? So, and we're stuck right now. We are stuck here in Cabo because of the weather, and we just said, hey, let's get these videos done and make it happen. So, so today we got 2 tips for you. Day number 3 of our tips for a long, loving, lasting marriage for good success. And so, Becky, what is your tip today?
Well, the tip that we're going to be talking about first is telling your spouse daily that you love them.
Oh, and what a coincidence that we just did that with each other.
Wow, we're so good.
Yes, so I know this might sound, oh my word, everybody, this is earth-shattering, right? This sounds like very hard to implement. It's really not. So you might think of it either way. You might think it's really hard or it's really easy, but it's one of those things that I think growing up, I think many of you probably would say, I didn't see my parents say that to each other. I didn't see them tell me I love them every day. And it's something that I wanted to implement when I became an adult, when I became married. So how do you do that, Becky? And why is it so important?
Well, you just make a point every day to tell your spouse you love them. It's very important because how many times are you out and about in your day? How many times do people tell you that they love you? Very rarely. People are hungry for love, so we should share the fact that we love them and never take anybody for granted because life is short. So,
I mean, going back to one of the love languages is words of affirmation, and especially if that is your spouse, or especially if that is you, saying every single day, just making it a point, being on purpose about it, I think is very important. And the next tip, the tip that I have for today, is something that I think many families do miss, and it's a little harder. It's a little harder than just saying I love you every day, but I think I love you every day is a discipline that we got to put in our life. This is something I recommend you do when your kids are very small, and maybe even before you get married. You and your spouse sit down and create a list of what are your top, most important core values or family rules or principles to live by, whatever you want to call them. For us, our kids know what our number 1 core value is. We call our family rules. And what is that, Becky?
to be kind.
Be kind. So we say number 1, more important than anything else, is to be kind one to another. Number 2, the most important rule for us is children obey your parents. And that's just not about obeying parents, it's about obeying authority and understanding that all authority comes from God. Number 3 is no whining allowed. Nobody really wants to be around a whiner, but what should we be doing with our voice and our mouth we should be encouraging other people and challenging other people and being there.
Giving thanks to people.
Yes, and giving thanks. And then so that's rule number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 4 is no lying. Just be honest.
I like to say, tell the truth.
Or tell the truth, right? You can look at this as a little bit of a negative, know this, or you can say, hey, what's the positive end of that? And we've done both of that. And then the final one of our kids actually came up with, and that is give gifts. And they know who I am, and they've seen us as a family give, and they've seen us be faithful in our tithes and offerings, and they've seen us, live that kind of life. So I was proud of that because that was something that one of our kids made up. So. And then once you have created those family rules for yourself, make sure that you review them with your kids, review them with your spouse. And even when your spouse is not obeying one of those rules,
you call them out on it.
You call them out on it. And it helps the whole family live that life. It's almost building the legacy that you really want to have. It's not about money. It's not about all the other stuff. It's really about what are you passing on. If you build that legacy, if you build the legacy of doing the right thing, being the right person, doing the right thing for the right reason, with the right people for the right amount of time, and what that means to you in your core values, I really believe that will help. It's the foundation of leaving a legacy. So, well, that's going to do it for today. I hope this blesses you, and I know it's a little bit of a hard thing to do, the second one that we talked about, but tell your spouse that you love them every day, and build those core values, those family rules, and then instill them, remind your whole family of them. And I believe that those 2 things will really help you have a good, successful family. So that's going to do it for today. I hope you'll see you back here tomorrow for day 4 of the Good Success Tips to have a long-lasting, loving marriage. Have a good success day.